What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a really cool EDC item to share with you guys. Something that I've already shown just once, just kind of talked about a little bit on my channel, but it was mainly more about the pry bars. This is an EDC style titanium suspension clip that I found on eBay for 11 bucks. And I know the first thing you guys want to tell me is, dude, you can find the cheap steel ones for like $2.50 on eBay. Why'd you spend so much money? So I was first made aware of suspension clips early on my channel. One of my first videos was about the Victorinox Cadet, and I said one of the only things that bothers me about this was a year and a half ago, is that it doesn't have a pocket clip. I would love to have a pocket clip on it because I always put it through the wash. It survived just fine, but so then some of the people who subscribed to me early on said, dude, you can get a suspension clip, just put that on there. So I was like, oh cool. So I went and found some, and you know, sure enough, super cheap. But I read some of the reviews, and people were saying these are unbelievably cheap. They break, they bend, some of them are made from plastic. And I thought, I don't want to pay $2.50 for something that might actually cause the item to detach and you know, that I lose it. You know, I don't want to put that much faith in it. So I was like, maybe down the road there'll be a better one, or I'll come across a better one. So here I am a year and a half later, just like a week or so ago, and I'm like, I want to look for some better suspension clips. Lo and behold, I find a seller on eBay who goes by, is it something Aero Parts? I can't remember. There's going to be a link in the description of this exact item on eBay, and you can look at his shop. He has a whole bunch of different EDC items and different versions of this. But for $11, it was a deep carry titanium suspension clip. Simple, just minimalist. I was like, oh, 11 bucks? Yeah, no problem. You know, some of you are going to be like, $11, that should be $4. Who cares? $11 is 11 bucks. For what I'm getting out of it, I'm plenty happy with it. You know, plenty springy. I trust titanium a lot more. I mean, it doesn't really matter what grade this is. I have no idea if it's grade 5 6AL4V or the TC4 that you get from China. In any case, I trust it. So I was like, perfect. I definitely want that. Now, I talked about this. You know, the main reason was because I wanted to carry a dedicated EDC pry bar because, as I mentioned in that video, the pry bar that I was using was actually the flathead screwdriver on my Victorinox Cadet. Now, I use this for a whole bunch of different stuff, but there have been a few times where I've been doing some prying with this, some lateral force, where there was some flex that made me feel uncomfortable. I did not want to break my Victorinox Cadet, so I thought I really need to have a pry bar because I'm doing this often enough that I need this. I need it to be not like a full-size pry bar, but I need an EDC style pry bar that's a little stronger than my Cadet, and one that will definitely save me the tip of knives like the PM2 or my Manix 2 or any knife, right? So this solved my problem. The combination of this and the pry bar, 11 bucks plus 12 bucks, to test my math, I paid 23 bucks for that. Now that's, you know, it's kind of a lot of money looking at the object that I've got here, but this is an item that is going to attach to my person now. I keep it in the right-hand side pocket with my pocket knife, so I know it's there because every day I reach into my pocket, I take my pocket knife out. I know my pocket knife's there because it's heavy, right? I also feel this in my pocket, and I can pull that out as well. And now I've got a pry tool that weighs, both of these things together weigh 3/4 of an ounce if you watched my pry bar video, and I can justify it. It's great. Now I talked about this in the video a little bit, but I'm going to lay out some other items here that I can give you examples of things that you might want to carry but don't because they don't clip to your person. I have another one here real quick. I'm going to say this. This one's going to go to Jeff along with this larger pry bar just because Jeff does so much for this channel. And I mean, if you guys have seen some of the stuff that Jeff has gifted me, you're like, wow, cool. You're going to reciprocate with an $11 clip and a $12 pry bar. I'm trying to kind of just be like, hey, I found this. I thought you might like it, because there's no way for me to repay Jeff in the way that you know, what he's done for this channel. So I'm trying to do little things. But here's what it looks like. It comes with a much smaller ring. I'm going to recommend something like this because this is a lot stronger. It doesn't matter how strong the clip is or how strong the item is. If the ring that you're using to attach the two items pulls apart or breaks without you knowing about it, then you may have just lost your expensive item that you are attaching to your person. So just to recommend there, that's what you're looking at. But some really awesome items that you may not have ever thought to carry. A couple of these examples won't have holes, but basically the idea is anything that has a hole in it. so that you can attach the ring to it. USB drive, if you have one, a lot of USB drives right now are keychains. If you don't want to have one dangling from your keychain, but you don't mind having one on your person, then great. Bottle openers and knucks, like this brass one here that has a ring on it, is great. I love the idea of actually carrying my Hinder or Armor's tool, because you've got a flathead on there, you've got a spanner tool on this side, and then on the inside you have whatever 1/4-inch bit you want to carry with you. A lot of people might opt for a flathead. That's a little bit of a heavier item, but you could attach something like that. This is a bad example because this, even though it's a small tape measure, my good old crusty tape measure, as you guys always put it, if you've got one of those little tiny keychain sized tape measures, you know, maybe that's something you might want to carry with you every single day. Something I never thought to carry until I saw a coworker have a small pair of fingernail clippers on his keychain. They were about just little tiny things, but they've got a little hole on them. So that's something that you could carry on your person. Obviously, the larger or smaller Widgie pry bars that I've got here, I think a lot of people will opt for the little Pico one there. That's an awesome thing that you can carry on your person every single day. Something that makes perfect sense for me, having recently acquired this, my little Curtis custom ODT that Jeff gave me, an example of something that I can never reciprocate properly to Jeff for. But this is the type of thing that I really want to carry, but I don't want to lose, right? So this little lanyard hole, I mean, this is perfect. I can literally attach this ring, and yeah, it's going to scrape it up a bit, but I can attach this ring, and I can attach the ring to the suspension clip and have that held inside my pocket. And I think that's just perfect. The distance that it'll hang there is just amazing. I think, you know, most people who are watching this are going to be plenty aware that suspension clips are a thing. You probably already have them, but, you know, as is the case with a lot of the stuff that I show on this channel, I'm kind of hoping to help people who are getting into this kind of discover this stuff, because, you know, yeah, it's fun to be a gearhead, and a lot of the stuff that I carry is completely unnecessary. Truthfully, I mean, every day I at least carry, now I carry the pry bar with the suspension clip, which I think is a great thing to carry. I carry the Victorinox Cadet, which I think is a great thing to carry, but I also carry a big full-size pocket knife. That's probably the one thing that I absolutely carry every day that's absolutely and completely unnecessary. I just realized I don't know where my flashlight went. I was going to use that as an example. Oh, here it is, right here. Before I get into that, I'm going to finish what I was talking about. These two things right here are things that I would recommend that like everybody carries. A small multi-tool / slip joint style pocket knife. You know, in the case of that one, it's got the small flathead, the large flathead, the can opener, the bottle opener, the nail file / leather punch thing, and a blade. And then I have a more dedicated, a stronger pry bar / nail puller that's also attached to my person. Those two things right there is probably all I'll need. Now, I like to carry more stuff sometimes and really weigh down my pockets because it makes me feel really cool and prepared. You know, like I'm in this kind of club with the, you guys saw my picture on Instagram where I was like, am I cool yet? You know, I need confirmation. That was kind of a joke, obviously. Yeah, you know, it makes me feel good. It's fun to know that you're, I think Nick Shabazz actually did a post on this here recently. It's fun to know that your tools are good to go. It makes you feel good. You know, having stuff like that is great. And that suspension tool will allow you to carry things that you may not have even considered would be hyper beneficial to carry. I'll tell you one thing, the toenail clipper thing is a great idea. I also like the idea of having a dedicated sort of EDC style canister that I carry my chapstick in. I'm one of those people that has to apply chapstick like 8 times a day because I'm addicted to it. Thanks a lot, Carmex. But no, seriously though, I mean, I think a lot of you guys carry chapstick every day. You know what I'm talking about. But a little canister that's like a dedicated chapstick holder that I can attach to my pocket would, again, save it from going through the wash and getting molten chapstick all over my clothes. That happens all the time. For people who don't like to put pens in their shirts, you can carry pens. A little tiny flashlight like this, or something that's even smaller that you don't want to attach to your keychain. You'll have to pretend that it doesn't already have a pocket clip. Or maybe it does have a pocket clip, but you just don't want it carrying that way. You want it to sink down deeper in your pocket. Well, you can remove this. You can use the little holes like this to attach the ring to, and then attach it to a suspension clip. Maybe you wouldn't do that, but you know, some people might have a flashlight that's absolutely ideal for that. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's probably tons of little tiny things that I'm leaving out here that could be included in this list, but I just think these suspension clips are awesome, and I wanted to give you guys an example of one that I can honestly recommend. So like I said, down in the description is the link to the store on eBay that I actually bought this one from. I can't guarantee that it's always going to be there. So if you're watching this video way in the future and you really want this clip, just look for something that's like it. I would recommend titanium. Right now on the store, he's actually got multiple versions of this clip. There's a rainbow anodized one, and there's a kind of a dark magenta anodized one. There's a blue one. I would imagine, that you can find stuff like that. I don't think that this is too rare of an item. He's probably not the only person doing this. You can likely find stuff like this on Amazon or Etsy or other places on eBay. But in any case, that's pretty much all I can say about this awesome and, in my opinion, essential EDC item. This is really cool. I do thank the original people on my channel. If you're still around, the people who mentioned or let me know that these suspension clips exist a year and a half ago, I'm infinitely grateful for that, because this has changed a lot about, what I'll decide to carry. I can switch this out and put it on whatever else I really want to carry and have attached to a pocket in the future. So anyways, if you found this video entertaining or informative or whatever, if you enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives and EDC gear that I either do or don't like, so check that stuff out. And if you enjoy all my content, then please subscribe to my channel, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.